Good evening. Hi. Welcome to another reading of 1001 Nights. My name is Saman and I have been absent for nearly 2 months, I guess. Needed some rest time. Let me show you my beautiful flowers. Those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that my flowers are always part of the readings, and the cats. All right. We're going to start with the 452nd night. I didn't have much time to prepare, so I'm sorry about that. I hope you won't notice. All right. Enjoy the reading. I see we have a special guest tonight. Someone dear to my heart is online. All right. Now, when it was the 452nd night, she continued, "It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that when the damsel said to the doctor, 'The stomach is the house of disease, and diet is the head of healing, for the origin of all sickness is indigestion, that is to say, corruption of the meat in the stomach,' he rejoined, 'Thou hast replied aright. What sayest thou of the hammam? Let not the full man enter it,' quoth the prophet. 'The bath is the blessing of the house, for that it cleanseth the body and calleth to mind the fire.' What hammams are best for bathing in? Those whose waters are sweet, and whose space is ample, and which are kept well aired, the atmosphere representing the 4 seasons, autumn and summer, winter and spring. What kind of food is the most profitable? Excuse me, that's my second cat, a new cat. What kind of food is the most profitable? That which women make, and which hath not cost over much trouble, and which is readily digested. The most excellent of food is brewis, or bread sopped in broth, according to the saying of the prophet, 'Brewis excelleth other food, even as Aisha excelleth other women.' What kind of kitchen or seasoning is most profitable? 'Flesh meat,' quoth the prophet, 'is the most excellent of kitchen, for that it is the delight of this world and the next world.' What kind of meat is the most profitable? 'Mutton, but jerked meat is to be avoided, for there is no profit in it.' What of fruits? 'Eat them in their prime and quit them when their season is past.' What sayest thou of drinking water? 'Drink it not in large quantities, nor swallow it by gulps. It will give thee headache and cause divers kinds of harms. Neither drink it immediately after leaving the hammam, nor after carnal copulation or eating, except it be after the lapse of 15 minutes for a young man, and 40 for an old man, nor after waking from sleep. What of drinking fermented liquors? Doth not the prohibition suffice thee in the book of Almighty Allah, where he saith, 'Verily, wine and lots and images and the divining arrows are an abomination of Satan's work. Therefore avoid them that ye may prosper.' And again, they will ask thee concerning wine and lots. Answer, in both there is great sin, and also some things of use unto man. But their sinfulness is greater than their use. Hence, quoth the poet, O bibber of liquor, art not ashamed to drink what Allah forbade thee drain? Put it far from thee and approach it not. It holds what Allah forbade as bane. And quoth another to the same purport, I drank the sin till my reason fled. I'll drink that reason to loss misled. As for the advantages that be therein, it disperseth stone and gravel from the kidneys and strengtheneth. I have to remove this, sorry, I'm sorry. As for the advantages that be therein, it disperseth stone and gravel from the kidneys, and strengtheneth the viscera, and banisheth care, and moveth to generosity, and preserveth health and digestion. It conserveth the body, expelleth disease from the joints, purifieth the frame of corrupt humours, engendereth cheerfulness, gladdeneth the heart of man, and keepeth up the natural heat. It contracteth the bladder, and forceth the liver, and removeth obstructions, reddeneth the cheeks, cleareth away maggots from the brain, and deferreth grey hairs. In short, had not Allah, to whom be honour and glory, forbidden it, there were not on the face of the earth aught fit to stand in its stead. As for gambling by lots, it is a game of hazard, such as dicing, not of skill. What wine is best? That which is pressed from white grapes, and kept 80 days or more after fermentation. It resembleth not water, and indeed there is nothing on the surface of the earth like unto it. What sayest thou of cupping? It is for him who is over full of blood, and who hath no defect therein. And whoso would be cupped, let it be during the wane of the moon, on a day without cloud, wind or rain, and on the 17th of the month. If it fall on a Tuesday, it will be the more oh my God, I can't say that word. Efficacious. Efficacious. So much more not preparing. If it fall on a Tuesday, it will be the more let's say, efficient. And nothing is more salutary for the brain and eyes and for clearing the intellect than cupping. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased saying her permitted say. Now when it was the 453rd night, she said, It hath reached me, O auspicious king, that when the damsel enumerated the benefits of cupping, quoth the doctor, What is the best time for cupping? One should be cupped on the spittle, that is, in the morning before eating, for this fortifieth the wit and the memory. It is reported of the Prophet that when anyone complained to him of a pain in the head or legs, he would bid him he cupped, and after cupping not eat salt food fasting, for it engendereth scurvy, neither eat sour things as curded milk immediately after cupping. When is cupping to be avoided? On Sabbaths or Saturdays and Wednesdays, and let him who is cupped on these days blame none but himself. Moreover, one should not be cupped in very hot weather, nor in very cold weather, and the best season for cupping is springtide, quoth the doctor. Now tell me of carnal copulation. Hereupon Tawaddud hung her head for shame and confusion before the Caliph's majesty, then said, By Allah, O Commander of the Faithful, it is not that I am at fault, but that I am ashamed. Though indeed the answer is on the edge of my tongue. Said the Caliph, Speak, O damsel. Whereupon said she, Copulation hath in it many and exceeding virtues and praiseworthy qualities, amongst which are that it lighteneth a body full of black bile, and calmeth the heat of love, and induceth affection, and dilateth the heart, and dispelleth the sadness of solitude. And the excess of it is more harmful in summer and autumn than in spring and winter. What are its good effects? It banisheth trouble and disquiet, calmeth love and wrath, and is good for ulcers, especially in a cold and dry humour. On the other hand, excess of it weakeneth the side, and engendereth pains in the legs and head and back. And beware of carnal connection with all women, for they are deadly. Okay. Quoth the Imam Ali, whose face Allah honour, 4 things kill and ruin the body: entering the hammam on a full stomach, eating salt food, copulation on a plethora of blood, and lying with an ailing woman. For she will weaken thy strength and infect thy frame with sickness, and an old woman is deadly poison. And quoth one of them, Beware of taking an old woman to wife, though she be richer in hoards than Giraud. What is the best copulation? If the woman be tender of years, comely of shape, fair of face, swelling of breast and of noble race, she will add to thee strength and health of body. And let her be even as saith a certain poet describing her. Seeing thy looks, was she what thou desirest, by inspiration once, no word, no sign. And when thou dost behold her rarest grace, the charms of every garden canst decline. At what time is copulation good? If by night, after food digested, and if by day, after the morning meal. What are the most excellent fruits? Pomegranate and citron. Which is the most excellent vegetable? Endive. Which of sweet-scented flowers? Rose and violet. How is it the seed of man secreted? There is in man a vein which feedeth all the other veins. Now water is collected from the 360 veins, and in the form of red blood entereth the left testicle, where it is decocted by the heat of temperament inherent in the son of Adam, into a thick white liquid, whose odour is as that of the palm spay. What flying thing is it that emitteth seed and menstruateth? The flittermouse, that is the bat. What is that which, when confined and shut out from the air, liveth, and when let out to smell the air, dieth? The fish. What serpent layeth eggs? The Saman or dragon. With this, the physician waxed weary with much questioning, and held his peace when Tawaddud said to the Caliph, O Commander of the Faithful, he hath questioned me till he is tired out, and now I will ask him one question, which if he answer not, I will take his clothes as lawful prize. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day, and ceased saying her permitted say. Now here's the last one for tonight. Now when it was the 454th night, she continued, "It hath reached me, auspicious king, that when the damsel said to the commander of the faithful, Verily he hath questioned me till he is tired out, and now I will ask him one question, which if he answer not, I will take his clothes as lawful price." The Caliph cried, "Ask on." So quoth she to the physician, "What is that thing which resembleth the earth in roundness, whose resting place and whose spine are hidden from man's eyes, little of price and estimation, narrow of chest and shackled as to throat, though it be nor runaway slave nor pestilent thief, thrust through and through knot and fray, and wounded though not in fight. Time eateth its vigour, and water wasteth its away. Now it is beaten without blemish, and then made to serve without stint. United after separation, submissive but not to him who caresseth it. Pregnant without child in belly, drooping yet not leaning on its side. Becoming dirty yet purifying itself. Cleaving to its fare yet changing, copulating without a yard. Wrestling without arms, resting and taking its ease, bitten yet not crying out. Now more complaisant than a cup companion, and then more troublesome than summer heat, leaving its mate by night, and embracing her by day, and having its abode in the corners of the mansions of the noble. The physician was silent a while, in perplexity, and his colour changed, and he bowed his head and made no reply. Whereupon she said to him, "Ho, sir doctor, speak or doff thy dress." At this he rose and said, "O commander of the faithful, bear witness against me that this damsel is more learned than I in medicine, and what else, and that I cannot cope with her." And he put off his clothes and fled forth. Quoth the Caliph to Tawaddud, "Re us thy riddle." And she replied, "O commander of the faithful, it is the button and the button loop." Then she undertook the astronomers and said, "Let him of you who is an astronomer rise and come forward." So the astronomer advanced and sat down before her, and when she saw him, she laughed and said, "Art thou the astronomer, the mathematician, the scribe?" "Yes," answered he. Quoth she, "Ask of what thou wilt. Success resteth with Allah." So he said, "Tell me of the sun and its rising and setting." And she replied, "Know that the sun riseth from the shadows in the eastern hemisphere, and setteth in the shadows of the western, and each hemisphere compriseth 180 degrees. Quoth Allah Almighty, I swear by the Lord of the east and of the west. And again, he it is who hath ordained the sun to shine by day, and the moon for a light by night, and hath appointed her station, that ye might know the number of years and the computation of time. The moon is sultan of the night, and the sun sultan of the day. And they vie with each other in their courses, and follow without overtaking each other. Quoth Almighty Allah, it is not expedient that the sun overtake the moon in her course. Neither doth the night outstrip the day, but each of these luminaries moveth in a peculiar orbit. When the day cometh, what becometh of the night? And what of the day when the night cometh? He causeth the night to enter in upon the day, and he causeth the day to enter in upon the night. Enumerate to me the mansions of the moon. They number 80 and 20 to wit: Sharatan, Butain, Suraya, Dabaran, Haka, Hana, Zira, Nasraf, Tarf, Jabba, Zubra, Safa, Awa, Simak, Qafa, Zubani, Iklil, Kalb, Shaula, Nam, Balda, Saad al-Zabi, Saad al-Bula, Saad al-Sud, Saad al-Ahbiya, Far the former and Far the latter, and Risha. They are disposed in the order of the letters of the Abjad Havas, or order alphabet according to the numerical power, and in them are secret virtues which none knoweth save Allah, extolled and exalted be He, and established in science. They are divided among the 12 signs of the zodiac, 2 mansions and a third of the mansion to each sign. Thus, Sharatan, Butain, and 1/3 of Suraya belong to Aries. The other 2/3 of Suraya, Dabaran, and 2/3 of Haka to Taurus. The other 1/3 of Haka, Hana, and Zira to Gemini. Nasra, Tav, and a 1/3 of Jabba to Cancer. The other 2/3 of Jabba, Zubra, and 2/3 of Safa to Leo. The other 1/3 of Safa, Awa, and Simak to Virgo. Qafa, Zubani, and 1/3 of Iklil to Libra. The other 2/3 of Iklil, Kalb, and 2/3 of Shaula to Scorpio. And the other 1/3 of Shaula, Naim, and Balda to Sagittarius. Saad al-Zabi, Saad al-Bula, and 1/3 of Saad al-Suud to Capricorn, and the other 2/3 of Saad al-Suud, Saad al-Akbiya, and 2/3 of Far the former to Aquarius, and the other 1/3 of Far the former, Far the latter, and Risha to Pisces. And Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day, and ceased saying her permitted say. This was not the best story to start reading again, but thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. It will be uploaded in a few minutes, as usual. Wishing you much love and peace, no matter where you are in the world, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Oh, and as usual, remember to go inwards instead of outwards.